Good morning, YouTube. My name is Will. This is my Evo 8 RS. Today we're going to talk some more stuff about the Evo. If you were hoping for a pup video, I'm sure they'll make a cameo at some point today. But you can check out their channel, which I'll put somewhere, I don't know, up here. But the link will be down below as well. If you have any questions, if you're looking to buy an Evo or anything like that, and you want to message me directly to like look at a car or something, definitely Instagram is the best for that. My Instagram link is on the screen now, and it's also linked below as well. If I don't respond to your DM right away, sometimes it gets spammed. A lot of times it gets spammed. Just like comment on a photo or something, like check your DM. All right, so while we're in my Evo 8, we're actually talking about Evo 10 stuff today. We're not in my Evo 10 because I don't have an Evo 10 anymore. But I did have an Evo 10 MR, which I'm sure I'll put in a picture of or something. If you're looking to buy an Evo 10, whether this is your first Evo or your first Evo 10, or maybe not your first Evo 10, but maybe you're considering the SST, there's a few things that I'd like to go over specifically and how maybe it can help clarify based on the experience that I've had having an Evo 10 MR and having other Evos that were not obviously dual clutches. The first one is your driving conditions. While I've never been one to buy into the whole, well, there's traffic, so I need an automatic, I do concede that there are lifestyle situations out there to where a manual does become a bit of a nuisance. It's not so much that a manual makes it harder, it's just that maybe whatever you're doing, wherever you're driving, even though yes, you're looking to buy an Evo, if you can buy an Evo that's maybe a little bit more livable, it will make your life a little bit more enjoyable. I could get that. You know, I could see how that could be beneficial. So, determine if you are willing to deal with a manual or not. Maybe you've owned manuals in the past, whether it's an Evo or something else, and it's those experiences that are making you consider a dual clutch, an Evo 10 MR in the first place right now. And if that's the case, then so be it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the transmission, and if you feel like you need that. The second thing you need to ask yourself is how much power do you think you might add on to this car? Maybe you're not going to mod it at all, but if you are, be very honest with you. You know, what do you truly feel like you might accomplish with this car in the near future, meaning, the first couple, 2-3 years? SST can handle a lot of bolt-ons just fine, and I believe Jax and probably some others do some upgrades to where they'll even build like transmissions that can withstand 700 plus horsepower. So the SST isn't the limiting factor that it was 10 years ago. That said, it is obviously an added cost. It is more to build up a SST than a regular 5-speed manual. The third thing I want to know is, have you ever driven a dual clutch? I suspect you haven't. I especially suspect the people who say that it sucks have not. In fact, I'm pretty much positive those people haven't. Driving a dual clutch is nothing like driving an automatic. Watch out! The SST, the dual clutch, it's not an automatic, but it's not a manual either. There were plenty of times driving the SST where I thought to myself, yeah, I kind of wish this was a manual. But there's also plenty of times now where I'm like, man, I kind of miss the SST. And I think it's because people like to say, oh, one is better than the other, and I don't think it is. I think that would be like saying an Evo is better or worse than an SUV. Well, no, I mean, they're two different vehicles meant for two different things. So I think they're both good, and they both obviously have their pros and cons. Obviously, the SST is a whole lot faster, shifts and everything, and it is fast, believe me. But it's not a simple one is better than the other. Obviously, Enzo and Lotus, they have plenty of videos on my channel, but they also have their own channel as well if you want to check them out more. And they have an Instagram. The SST as well, not all dual clutches are created equal, and Mitsubishi wasn't messing around with this. I mean, it's a get-rag transmission, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like, it won't shift for you. It'll bounce off rev limiter, it'll do whatever. If you tell it to downshift, it'll downshift. So if you are watching this video, it means you're likely considering this at some point, and I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't at least drive it. Now, if you just know, like, I just want a manual, well, then just get a manual. Like, it's not a big deal. But I don't think the SST should be looked at as this like redheaded stepchild syndrome. You know, it's not an automatic. It's not a manual, but it's not an automatic. And yeah, you can drive it in automatic mode. I don't suggest that. It's not a pleasant experience, much like most dual clutches. But yeah, I mean, it's just a different experience when you're driving the car. It feels different. It felt like an Evo, but it didn't feel like an Evo. It's kind of weird. If you're looking to buy an Evo, obviously you can ask any questions, comments below. If you want to ask me directly, you can. Instagram is the best. I'll put those links below as well. Other than that, subscribe for more Evo content. It's been an extremely long day. But appreciate you guys as always. Like if you enjoyed it, and see you on the next video. Wanna say bye? Enzo? Lotus? Gonna fight over stick?